Welcome everyone, and today we're going to be talking about the Land Before Time, the world of dinosaurs. Today we're going on a tour on the one and only Misconception Park. Today we have an amazing tour for you guys today, and we hope you have a dynamite time. Today we're going to be talking about some misconceptions normal people might have about dinosaurs, where some of my favorite movies got it wrong, and where scientists added to misconceptions. Before we talk about dinosaurs, let's talk about the people that dig them up. Isn't it archaeologists, right? That's actually wrong. It's paleontologists. Paleontologists study dinosaurs and their bones. Archaeologists study humans and late civilizations. Now that we dig that up, let's talk about some other common misconceptions. You might heard of the Tyrannosaurus Rex before, but this famous dinosaur has a lot of common misconceptions. You might have heard one about its poor eyesight, but that could be further from the truth. According to the Wooster's Voice, the T-Rex had one of the best eyesight for any terrestrial animal, able to see up to 7 football fields away. Now that's pretty impressive. But another thing you might know about the T-Rex is its arms. And before you say, wait, the T-Rex had some really huge arms, it actually didn't. It had about the size of arms as we did. But what you might not have known is that according to the University of Alberta, a T-Rex's arms were actually not wimpy at all. They were quite muscular, able to bench almost 400 pounds on each arm. Now that's one muscular dinosaur. Now let's talk about some common movie misconceptions. And when we're talking about movie, I think we all know what movie I'm talking about here, Jurassic Park. If you've seen the original movie, you might have heard about, once again, the eyesight of the Tyrannosaurus Rex. But you also might have heard of the iconic chase scene where the Tyrannosaurus Rex is chasing the Jeep. It states in the movie that the Tyrannosaurus Rex can go more than 30 miles per hour, but that's actually not true. According to the Natural History Museum, it's theorized that the T-Rex could only run barely faster than humans, with it reaching only top speeds around 16 kilometers per hour. Now that we talked about that, let's talk about another famous dinosaur in the original films, the Dilophosaurus. You might have heard of the Dilophosaurus before of spitting venom at its enemies, but we actually see that's not true. According to the Natural History Museum again, it's actually proven that the Dilophosaurus, or any other dinosaur in fact, couldn't produce venom. But at least they got that iconic neck frill, right? Who could ever forget that? Well, there's no evidence of that either. Now that we've been stomping around through some movie misconceptions, let's go to where scientists got it wrong. You might be thinking, how could scientists get something so iconic and so prehistoric wrong? Well, one example of this is that back in the day, most scientists thought that all dinosaurs were covered in scales, but that's actually not true. According to the University of Utah, it states that scientists have found dinosaurs with skin impressions and carbonized feathers that prove that some dinosaurs, carnivores and herbivores, had feathers. Now that's one interesting dinosaur right there. Now that we've talked about some of these things about fossils, you might be thinking, why don't scientists prove these misconceptions wrong? Well, it can be pretty hard to deal with when you're talking about literal fossils. Sometimes it can be hard to do anything about these fossils, and they're usually dragging, literally. According to the Smithsonian Magazine, museums like the Yale Peabody Museum and the American National history museum have dinosaurs that are still tail dragging, having their tails all the way down or in poses that aren't correct at all. But it can be pretty hard to change those poses since it can be dangerous to the fossils or any other way of doing these amazing creatures any justice. Here on my tour, we talked about some of the common misconceptions you might have about dinosaurs, where my favorite movie unfortunately got it wrong, and where sometimes you need misconceptions to learn knowledge. And as Dr. Ian Malcolm once said, life finds a way. And it's not just life that finds a way, it's our knowledge of these amazing prehistoric creatures that will always change, some causing misconceptions, but we will always be able to find the truth.